Section 8 of More English Fairy Tales. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Roohi Huck. More English Fairy Tales by Joseph Jacobs. Sir Gammer Vans. Last Sunday morning at 6 o'clock in the evening, as I was sailing over the tops of the mountains in my little boat, I met two men on horseback riding on one mare. So I asked them, could they tell me whether the little old woman was dead yet, who had hanged last Saturday week for drowning herself in a shower of feathers? They said they could not positively inform me, but if I went to Sir Gammer Vans, he could tell me all about it. But how am I to know the house, said I. Oh, 'tis easy enough, for 'tis a brick house, said they, built entirely of flints, standing alone by itself in the middle of 60 or 70 others just like it. Oh, nothing in the world is easier, said I. Nothing can be easier, said they, so I went on my way. Now this Sir G. Vans was a giant and a bottle maker, and as all giants who are bottle makers usually pop out of a little thumb bottle from behind the door, so did Sir G. Vans. How do you do, said he. Very well, I thank you, says I. Have some breakfast with me? With all my heart, says I. So he gave me a slice of beer and a cup of cold veal, and there was a little dog under the table that picked up all the crumbs. Hang him, says I. No, don't hang him, says he, for he killed a hare yesterday, and if you don't believe me, I'll show you the hare alive in a basket. So he took me into his garden to show me the curiosities. In one corner there was a fox hatching eagle's eggs. In another there was an iron apple tree, entirely covered with pears and lead. In the third there was a hare, which the dog killed yesterday alive in the basket. And in the fourth there were 24 hipper switches threshing tobacco, and at the sight of me they threshed so hard that they drove the plug through the wall and through a little dog that was passing by on the other side. I, hearing the dog howl, jumped over the wall and turned it as neatly inside out as possible, when it ran away as if it had not an hour to live. Then he took me into the park to show me his deer, and I remembered that I had a warrant in my pocket to shoot venison for His Majesty's dinner. So I set fire to my bow, poised my arrow, and shot amongst them. I broke 17 ribs on one side and 21½ on the other, but my arrow passed clean through without ever touching it. And the worst was, I lost my arrow. However, I found it again in the hollow of a tree. I felt it. It felt clammy. I smelt it. It smelt honey. Ho, ho, said I. Here's a bee's nest, when out sprang a covey of partridges. I shot at them. Some say I killed 18, but I am sure I killed 36, besides a dead salmon which was flying over the bridge, of which I made the best apple pie I ever tasted. End of Sir Gammer Vans.